Are you in a new season of your life? Are you stuck and searching for clarity so you can make a career change? Do you just need the courage to switch careers? Are you ready to follow God's plan for your career? Welcome to Choose Your Next Yes. Hi, Kindred. I'm Mel, a career transition coach, mom of grown-ups, coffee lover, and God girl. I've had a lot of big life changes, and I haven't always been clear about God's plan for me. This led to stress and anxiety and a lack of clarity and courage to make a career move. I finally started listening to God's voice to find clarity and peace and stopped being scared to make a move and achieve my career transition goals. Now, my mission is to help you learn to listen to God's voice and know when to say yes to the career you've always wanted and no to everything else. Let me show you how to clarify your purpose and find courage to pursue your personal and professional goals in your midlife and beyond. Throw down your self-doubt, dust off your dreams, Kindred. It's time to reset and refine and reclaim the woman you once aspired to be. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Mel Vandevort, and I have a special guest with me today. I have my very own coach, Kimberley Day. Kimberley has been so great in helping me grow my own business, and it's been wonderful. Kimberley and I were trying to remember how we connected, and I think we connected through a Facebook group. I'm in lots of Facebook groups so I could grow myself, and I saw that she was doing a summit, and I wanted to be part of it. And so I sent in the form and was accepted, and the rest is kind of history. So welcome to the show, Kimberley.
Oh yeah, it's so great to be here, Dr. Mel. And wow, it's true, right? We met through a group or a community. You came and were one of the guest expert speakers on the summit, and now you're writing a book. It's all of my favorite things to talk about: community, speaking, books, and really that kind of whole underlying pining kind of foundation of marketing, right? What do you do to grow your business? And I love that you're kind of doing all of them. So it's really
awesome. And the best part, I think probably one of the most important parts of growing your business is networking. Because if I hadn't been looking and I hadn't been getting into those Facebook groups, I wouldn't have found you, and I wouldn't be where I'm at because you wouldn't be in my life to help me get my focus on. So I cannot speak enough about the power of networking and getting to know people, because you never know who is going to give you the opportunity that you needed.
Yeah, the one opportunity that could change your whole life, like your whole business. You never know who that person is or what room you're going to find them in. So getting out and connecting is so, so, so important. And one of the big pillars of my business as well, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Kimberley, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are and how you became my coach and all of the things, how you became other people's coach. And just tell us, who is Kimberley Day?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, the long story short is with respect to business, for over 13 years, I was a financial advisor. I loved my job. One of the things, though, that I really, really, really struggled with when I was a financial advisor was finding new clients, kind of in this vicious circle where when I was trying to do it on my own as an independent advisor, I would find myself on what I lovingly call the income roller coaster. So if you're listening and you are already in business or an entrepreneur, you might be familiar with the income roller coaster, right? It's that time where you're having a really great month and you're making a lot of money and you're meeting new people and you got new clients, and then, oh my God, you're on the downward slide and you don't know where your next rent payment is coming from, or mortgage payment, or car payment. There were times where I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pay my cell phone bill the next month, right?
Or buy groceries. Yeah,
or buy groceries. It would get so lean. I would have to decide between, things that were equally as important.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because I wasn't a good financial advisor, but it created that feeling too of imposter syndrome and like, how am I supposed to teach people about their money when I'm broke as a joke, right? I have all
Yeah.
of these horrible feelings. And then, of course, the horrible feelings lead to less clients and everything else because you don't want to talk to people because you feel you totally lose your self-confidence.
Right. And you
And
kind
it
of feel like
wasn't
a fake. Yeah,
You feel
exactly.
like a fake.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, right? And this is a common thing. And it's a common thing for even successful people as they're moving into the next level of their career, right? As we get these feelings of I'm not enough or I'm not good enough, or people are going to see right through the fact that I have no idea how to get to the level.
Right.
And it wasn't because I wasn't a good financial advisor. When I had money, I knew exactly what to do with it. I knew exactly how to coach my clients what to do with it.
Yep.
When I went to finance school, the one thing they didn't teach me was how to go out and find clients and build a business.
Yeah.
Huge, big missing piece, right?
Yep.
Especially in a culture in North America where we're taught that safety and security is the job, right? The almighty job
Yep.
with that is safe and secure. It gives you a steady paycheck with payment with a pension and benefits. That was I was taught as a child.
Yes.
So it's no wonder I was never taught to go out and explore and do things like networking and find clients. And how do you do all of that stuff when that's not your normal, right?
Right. And even just, you know, like you said, those benefits and stuff, like one of the things that kept me from venturing out into my own completely was insurance. And let me tell you, getting insurance now it's a struggle. I've been working on it for quite a while just to have insurance. And it's like this catch 22 almost. And so, you know,
Yeah.
you can venture out on your own, but that is one of those things that really people struggle with. And so I'm glad that I am getting to a place now where it's not that struggle and I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And so, you know, if you're listening, and that's one of the things that if you're in business and it worries you, or if you're thinking about getting into business and that worries you, I want you to know that you're not alone, right?
Right.
We all go through this. And you know, my situation would get so bad that I would literally go back and get the job, right? In the world of finance.
Yes.
But I would go back and secure myself that ability to breathe and like, oh, okay, I've got a job.
Yes.
And I realized this is a cycle I'm never going to get out of unless I learn something different.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm grateful and blessed now that I was able to figure it out. You know, I'm traveling the world.
Yes. And I'm so jealous.
It was again another big scary moment, right? I gave up all of my stability and safety security of a permanent home, and I decided that I wanted to travel is a huge big passion of mine, and so I decided, you know, I can work from my laptop. I'm already teaching on Zoom and all these things anyway. So why am I waiting till retirement to start traveling or going on one vacation a year when I could make travel a part of my actual everyday lifestyle?
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Doesn't mean I get to lie on the beach every single day. I still work, but guess what? Now I'm steps from the beach, right? I can incorporate the beach, a beach walk into my lunch hour. I spend my weekends doing things that I love, but I do them in fun places that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do still living in Canada, right? Because I'm Canadian, and like the entire winter, it either rains on the West Coast or it snows on the East Coast. So it was like, I can't escape this. But with my traveling lifestyle, I am able to do that, right? And I lovingly joke about my toes in sand, phone in hand, semi-retirement plan, and I get to live that now. But because I made some choices, and part of them were I need to learn better strategies, because the big turning point in my business, and yours doesn't need to be as big, right? But for some people, it's you just make a decision and you're going to go after it. For me, it was a big decision, and it happened in the face of being fired, right? From a job I didn't love anyways. So in hindsight, it's a blessing. But at the time, I was working in a finance job because I had been struggling as an independent again. So I was back in a job, and I was working at a car dealership as a financial services manager. And if you've ever been to a car dealership to buy a car, they're all the glass windows, right? Your whole
Yes.
exterior of the dealership is glass cubicles for the salespeople, for the finance managers, for the sales managers, because we all need to see what's going on in the showroom, right? So it's a big fishbowl, if you will, for lack of a better analogy. And I remember this day, I'll never forget it, because it was not just I got let go. I got let go in the middle of a busy Saturday at the
Yeah.
dealership.
Yeah.
So I got called out of my glass cubicle, and I had to walk across the showroom floor into the glass office of my boss, where I got told, we're moving in a different direction. And this wasn't just, and you've got 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Because you can walk back across the showroom floor and you can pack your things up and go and not even finish your shift.
Yeah, that is
Because they brought somebody else.
heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking. It was humiliating, because now I had to walk back across the showroom floor, trying not to break out in tears because I'd just gotten fired. And I had to pack my things, and then with a little box of my belongings, walk across the showroom floor again to the front door exit. And in that moment, that was my moment. I was like, never again am I going to put my safety and security in the hands of someone else, especially someone else who can treat people that way.
Yeah.
Not only did I get let go, I got completely humiliated in front of my peers, in front of customers. And I'm like, they didn't even have the decency to either do it in the morning before everything started or do it at the end of the day. They literally did it in the middle of the day in a fishbowl. And so that was my turning point, I guess, if you will, right? I call it my TSM turning point of the game, where I planted my flag. I made a commitment to myself and to business. And I said, never again. And I went on a journey. To figure out this thing called entrepreneurship and lead generation and marketing, the things they hadn't taught me in finance school, right? And then day by day, week by week, month by month, I just got better because I went to programs. I took courses.
Yes.
I hired mentors, right?
Yes.
So accelerate my results.
Yes.
And it all kind of culminated when I was in LA. So I was still incorporating travel into my learning, because if you can go to a program, you might as well go somewhere hot and sunny, right?
Exactly.
So off I flew to LA, and I went to this seminar called the World's Greatest Marketing Seminar. And it was one of those seminars, Dr. Mel, where they have like the multi-platform speakers, where it was like, here, come to this talk and learn about how to use podcasting to grow your business, which I know you do. And there was how to use email marketing to grow your business, how to use whatever it was to grow your business. And I was listening to the gentleman who was talking about how to use a book to grow your business.
Yes.
And I'm also a big believer that as you're learning and as you're listening, so even as you're listening to Dr. Mel and I right now, it's kind of a bit of a Christian and biblical principle, but it's about, seeding and harvesting. And so I've always said, harvest the best and throw away the rest. And hopefully Dr. Mel and I are planting some seeds today in good, fertile soil in your mind.
Yes.
How you could see the possibility of expanding your reach. But I knew when I was sitting down listening to that gentleman talk about writing a book that it was all just going, yep, that clicks. That makes sense. I was thinking about all the mentors that I looked up to in the world of finance, right? Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There was David Bach, Susie Orman. There was David Chilton, the wealthy barber. I just posted that about meeting him actually in Facebook the other day, because he's a well-known author in Canada. He wrote The Wealthy Barber. As a child, almost every kid in Canada at some point has been handed by someone who loves them a copy of The Wealthy Barber so they can learn their finances. It was actually my early start in learning about finance and being inspired to teach other people about it.
I'll have to look that one up.
It's a great one. Yeah. And then Gail Vaz Oxlade, who had a whole TV show and syndicate around Till Death Do Us Part, right? Couples fighting about money. It was a fabulous. So it was kind of the one that I was looking at going, I think this makes a lot of sense, because I was looking up to those people, right? We perceive authors as authority figures. The root of authority is author. And so they're the trusted expert. They are the thought leader. And so I thought, oh, this is the thing. This is the strategy. I'm going to grab by the coattails and I'm going to do it. And I hired that mentor because I wanted to do it fast.
Yes.
No time to waste when you don't have a job anymore and you got to get on the other side of this lead generation success train. And I wrote my first book. So that was the beginnings of me teaching it to other people, was my first book on finance.
And it's called what?
It's called The Financial Fitness Playbook.
For all of our people who are listening on a podcast and can't see the picture of the book.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. I'm using props on the visual part. Yeah, it's called The Financial Fitness Playbook. And it was literally the game-changing book in my finance business. In less than 12 months, I had doubled my income, doubled my client base, my assets under management. I was getting free media and publicity all over the place, the radio, TV. I went from my local radio, our local television station to being picked up by CTV News. So the Canadians will know that one. And in the US, that'd be like ABC, NBC, one of the big guys, right?
Right.
And then it went from my local CTV channel to my provincial CTV channel to my national CTV channel.
Wow.
So I literally got exposure through the roof. I'd show up at networking events, Dr. Mel, and people would go like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you on TV. I've been wanting to meet you. I knew I'd eventually see you somewhere." And I was like, it was almost like this little mini celebrity status, right?
Right. Doesn't that make you feel good? But like, you know that you're helping someone because they're not just seeing you as a celebrity. They want to meet you, but not just as a celebrity because you have something they want.
Yeah, they wanted the information in my head, right? That's what your reader wants. They want to know how you figured it all out. And so it's this powerful tool that I had no idea. I mean, my coach told me it would work, but until it's actually worked for you, it's kind of like, it's surreal. And which started people asking me, how did you write the book? And it was then that I realized, oh my gosh, I could help way more people doing this. And let's just face it, it's kind of boring teaching people about like mutual funds and life insurance and people's eyes in the back of their head. And nobody really wants to talk about that. But when I talk about writing a book, people's face lights up, their eyes glow and their energy shifts. People are excited about it. And
yes,
that was kind of the entry into my space of, I could actually make a business out of this. I mean, I paid my mentor over $5,000 US to teach me how to write my book. So if I paid somebody to do it, there'd be people that would pay me to teach them this.
Yes. And that's exactly why I wanted you to coach me, because that one thing is what I wanted you to coach me on. Now, I am loving all of the other stuff that we talk about every week and all of the great information and stuff that you're helping me grow in my capacity. But that one thing is the reason that I wanted you as my coach, because you were going to walk me through every single step of writing my own book.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about that on the first time we hopped on a call, right? Because it's not just about a book. People see the book and think it's all, that's the end of it. It's actually just the beginning, because if done correctly, which is what I learned, it's actually a marketing tool. It's a mirror of your program that you want to teach, right? It becomes the business asset that keeps on giving. And I'll use that as a financial term, right? Because I learned in finance, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, right? So my book, though, consistently brings me clients. It positions me as a thought leader. So I spent a little bit of money to produce it and get it into the world, but it continuously serves as a calling card.
Yes.
To people who want to do this type of work. I love to be able to teach people the business behind the book, right? Because it's not about a book to tell your story or to make a whole bunch of money selling books, because that's the same, no matter who you talk to, that most self-published authors sell less than 500 books in their lifetime.
Right.
But it's not about selling the book. Right. It's about the business around and behind the book. It's about the book positioning you as the ultimate go-to expert that this person wants to work with. And then the book leading the person down the path strategically by what you include in the book. So pop out the other end, instead of a reader, client, a student in your program, right?
And I wanted to follow up on a couple of things. I had to really flip my mindset after I talked to you and was in your 5-day challenge. Remind me of the name of your 5-day challenge, the book writing one.
That's Publish, Promote, Profit.
Yes. Publish, Promote, Profit. I did your 5-day challenge, and I'm telling you, it was mind blowing, literally, because I had a mental model of what writing a book was, and you flipped that completely, but it made sense the way you said it. And using that to grow your business, me using writing a book to grow my consultancy, like it's freeing almost, because I felt like, okay, I've got to write this book and I've got to use it to make money. No, I write this book and I use it to teach other people how to start a consultancy, and then they can do what I'm doing from anywhere they want to work. And, next week I told you I'm going to Las Vegas, and I can do that because I'm not tied to a job, and I don't have to use personal days or sick days to go on a vacation in the middle of February because I want to go. And I
Or
can
ask
work.
permission, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can work from out there just as easily as I can work from sitting here in my apartment. So I can work a few hours there and go have fun in Vegas and still be making money and not have to worry about, oh, I can't take days off because I can't pay my rent. So one of the things I wanted to follow up earlier, you can build your business before you quit that job.
100%. You do not have to wait. Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to let it be that you got fired. You can actually be building it. I was fortunate enough that I was building it. So
yes.
Yeah.
And I got downsized, and I call it downsized because it just hurts my feelings less than saying I got fired. But, it was what it was. And there was a lot of people who got downsized, but I was one of them. And so I found myself in that same situation. But fortunately, I had started before with building my coaching and building the consultancy. And now I'm in a much better place because I started before that happened. And in today's economy, you don't know when you might be that person who gets called into the office that day. My daughter-in-law is a prime example of that. A few months ago, massive downsizing where she worked at a hospital, and they came in one day and said, okay, you guys, you just have so long and then you're done. And like they had no warning at all. What do? You haven't pre-planned. You haven't thought this might happen because you feel secure in that job with all those benefits. But guess what? You're not secure in that.
You're not secure. And in fact, I used to teach people this in finance, which was really the irony of it is kind of hilarious now that I look back. But I used to talk to people about the statistics is that most North Americans are only 3 paychecks away from complete financial disaster.
Yeah.
3 paychecks.
Yes.
And what happens when you get fired? Then there's no paychecks away.
Exactly.
Lucky maybe you get a severance, which would account for a paycheck or 2.
Right. And they offered her a very small severance. And you can draw unemployment, but well, guess what? That still doesn't pay your bills, because if you're making a certain amount, you only get maybe a third of that, if that. Well, you can't always pay the bills with that. So
you can't, because that's another financial principle that I figured out early in my finance career, is that it didn't matter whether you were making $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year. Everyone, okay, not everyone, 90%. 90% of the population is just broke. They're just broke at a different level. Yeah. Because they're the $500,000 income earner is just driving in a nicer car with a bigger car payment, living in a house with a bigger mortgage payment, right? They're just, we're spending, from what I saw and I experienced, people just spend up to their paycheck.
Yep.
So
exactly.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter how much you make.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scary
so
stuff.
Tell us about your upcoming course that you've got.
Yeah.
Excited. Can't wait for it to start.
I mean, I think you can tell just by how I talk about it that I'm really passionate about it. I love doing it. And It's all about creating financial transformation because I still have that underlying like desire to teach people about how to have better money, right?
Yeah.
But instead of now teaching it on the personal side, I'm just teaching it on the business side, right? How do you position yourself as a thought leader such that you can also give yourself a raise, right?
Yes.
Just like in the world of the generalist versus the specialist makes more money and can charge more money and can command more money because they're perceived as a specialist, right? You think about a dentist versus an orthodontist, who makes more money, right? Think about a GP versus a surgeon, who makes more money. So when your book, you become the expert. You can start amplifying your results, attracting more clients, making more money, giving yourself a raise, and finally get those assets you need in your business to make marketing a little less of a struggle. Because wouldn't you agree? It'd be nice if it was just a lot easier and more in flow and less of that chase energy and more of that purely attracting and receiving energy. And that is the real power, I think, of the book. So, So I have an upcoming program. It starts in 2 weeks. I don't even have the calendar in front of me. What date is that? But 2 Wednesdays. We are Wednesday, January 31st. So
let me look here. I will pull up my calendar and look.
Didn't I have that date right off the top of my tongue?
Oh, that would be Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. My gift to you will be the beginning.
She's going to show you some love on Valentine's Day.
I'm going to share the love with a new batch of students. The Write and Grow Rich program, which is completely based around my brand new book. Well, it's not brand new anymore, but my second book, the first one was about helping people with their finance. This one's about helping you grow a big, huge, bold business, right? By using a book. So Write and Grow Rich, how to supersize your brand, your business, and your bank account. That program version starts on Wednesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's my gift to you to help you grow a big, bad business. Or if you're not in business and don't want to leave business, that's okay too. I know lots of people who've used this same strategy to rise the corporate rungs, right? To get their promotions up leveled. So if you want to use it to advance your career or start a business or grow or scale your business, it's a great strategy.
What about educators? Can educators use this course at all?
Oh my gosh. I mean, Dr. Mel, you know the power of educators being able to use a book. It is one of the most fabulous strategies to position your new teaching program, right? If you're going to be teaching something outside of the traditional school system, it's fabulous. If you're in the school system and just looking to move up the ranks into administration, also can work. I talk about all sorts of strategies in the program. I give tons and tons of examples, and we position it specifically for your goals because everybody's goals are a little bit different, right?
Right. And I think this would be a great segue into speaking opportunities as well. Educators are some smart people and they've got some great things that they need to say and that they need to have heard. And speaking opportunities is a great way to get your voice out there. And writing a book would open so many doors to speaking opportunities as an educator.
Well, and as a podcast host, if you're looking at interviewing two different people, you're picking the one who has the published book, right? I mean, it's the natural expert, right? They have something that they can talk about, that they can share, another step for the audience to take, a value piece, right? Because the book is chock full of value. So yes, opening door. And I run a summit as well to help give authors a platform to speak on so they don't have to be searching for platforms. So speaking is near and dear to my heart. It attracts the free media and publicity, which is usually another form of speaking. So getting you that amplification of your visibility through positioning yourself as the thought leader with your book and then using it to get out and share your message on a wider audience, which is especially important if you don't already have an audience. So if you're thinking, I don't even know what I would write about, I don't even have an audience, the book is the fastest path to getting an audience because you can open doors to other people's audiences, right? It's the fastest and easiest way to grow your own audience is to go speak on other people's platforms. And the book is a powerful door opener, just like you suggested, to be able to do.
And midlife women, you can do this. Like, especially now that you've got your kids out of the house and you've got a little bit more free time, or you're just about to pivot into that empty nestum. This is a great way to fill your time, especially if you're searching for something and you need something in your life to fill that void that your kids had filled. And now they're gone. They're doing their own life. They're doing life as adults. And this is a great way for you to fill that time.
I love it. And it doesn't actually take a lot of time. So to get this out of your head, right? Your book out of your head, your idea in place, your strategic plan to call in those perfect clients. I go through all of that in the program. We lock arms for 8 weeks. So we literally, like, can you imagine, when you locked arms with your girlfriends, when you were a kid, and we're going to skip down the street. It's going to be fun. It's interactive. It's not just a lecture where I'm at the front of the room teaching. You're doing lessons. We're workshopping everything. We're doing breakouts where 8 weeks later, you're going to leave class with a printed book that you can use.
And that is like the best thing that I can hear you say, because everybody knows my ADHD brain, and I have a focus issue, and I start things and then I think of 10 other things I need to be doing, and I need some accountability, and I need you to tell me, do this now. Now do this. You've done this. Now do this. I need you to walk me through the steps. So, like, is that going to happen in this?
100%. It is a step by step blueprint. It's my signature framework to literally take your book from out of your head and into hand in 8 weeks or less. We meet weekly. There's templates, worksheets, swipe files. Every single piece of the puzzle is right there with the box cover and the picture, so you know how to put it together with support, and not just my support, but in community, right? We talked about this at the beginning. Would you agree community is a really important part of achieving your goals?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Like I said, networking, having someone to help you growing from others, you teaching others and refining and honing your own craft. It's
priceless. And so
yes, it is.
So we meet together as a group. So you're with other ambitious authors in training, right? Authorpreneurs, I like to call them. And you get to come together once a week with me in community to get this done. So you're not left leaving class with a whole bunch of homework, right? Nobody loved all the homework at night as a kid, right? I'm going to give you time in class to get things done so that when questions pop up,
yes,
your students are there. When self-doubt creeps up, when imposter syndrome creeps up, and I say when, because it's not just if it creeps up, it's going to creep up, right? Because it just is going to happen. And I've got the tools and resources to help you blast through all of that too. Any self-doubt, any limiting beliefs.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Doesn't matter whether English is your second or third language, like my client, Monica. English was her third language. She got her book done and finished and now translated into one of her native languages.
So that is amazing.
Her English book. And, if you are somebody who thinks writing is going to be really hard, well, Amber got her book done, literally wrote her manuscript in 4 days after going through the framework section of the program. So it's really fast and easy, especially when you do it with support and we're going to make it fun. I promise. So
yes. So guys, put your potential in motion and take bold and perfect action. I'm going to have all of the information in the show notes for you, so you can click on the link. You can get registered. Everything you need to know will be there. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining me today. It was kind of impromptu, but I think it was great. Lots of great information. And I always grow when I talk to you, even today. Got some nuggets of information and some growth. So
I love it. And I can't wait to help you bring your book to life, Dr. Mel.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here today.
All right. You guys have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you back here on another day.